Good morning, everybody out there in Mathland. Today we will be doing for fourth grade our lesson on area formula for a rectangle. Yesterday we talked about perimeter. Perimeter is adding up all the sides on the outside of a figure, kind of like a fence around a farm or something like that. Today we're talking about the inside, how much stuff fits on the inside. So instead of a fence, I want you to think of like tiles on the floor. Like how much do I need to cover up the floor inside? So perimeter is around the outside, area is in the inside. That is the big difference. So today we're talking about area. Here's the good news. Calculating area is actually a little faster because all you have to do is one step and it's multiply length times width. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, I'm going to start on our second page of the lesson, which is page 582 for those of you who need to find it. There's the definition. Area is the amount of surface a figure covers on the inside. You can use a formula to show how the length, width, and area of a rectangle are related. The formula is way faster than yesterday's. Area is just A, that stands for area, equals length times width. Once again, the L symbol is in cursive because they don't want you to confuse it with the number 1 or a letter, for number 1. So length times width. Here's the figure. So we're going to be doing this times that, okay? Now, for example, here's our first example. This little rectangle right here. The length of this particular shape, remember length is the top and bottom, that's 14 inches. And the width is 19 inches right here. Okay, so when we're multiplying 14 times 19, what do we get? Well, I'm going to go to the side of the paper. 9 times 4 is 36, so carry 3. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 3 is 12. I clear the trash. Placeholder. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. I add these together, I get 6, 6, 2. So the answer is 266. Now here's the big part. Yesterday when we were doing perimeter, we would just say inches or centimeters or whatever it was. But area, because you're multiplying two sides, it is square inches. Because basically, when you're doing the area of length times width, it's of a figure that I want you to think about kind of like, oh, like a square, even though this is a rectangle. But it's actually because something times something. So inches squared is this little number on the top we call an exponent. So that is why it's squared. When your exponent is 2, which means you're multiplying inches by other inches, that's the power of 2, an exponent, that's squared. So that's why we say 206 square inches, because we're multiplying inches times inches. Okay, so do not forget to write square in front of whatever unit of measurement that you are using. Find the area of a rectangle. So again, area equals length times width. So area equals 4 times 6. I tend to circle them so I know what to multiply with each other. So area equals 24 square, because we need to use that word, meters. There we go. Let's go to the next one, okay? Area equals length times width. So area equals 20 times 12. And, you know, multiplication is commutative, meaning that I can change the order of the factors and my answer is still going to be the same. So I could do 12 times 20. It's still going to give me the same answer. So do not panic about knowing which number needs to go first for this particular formula. That means area equals, I'm going to go over here, 20 times 12. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 2 is 4. Placeholder, there's no trash to clear. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 2 is 2. I get 240. And 240 what? Square yards. Make sure you always include those words. Over here on the bottom, area equals length times width. Yes, I'm going to write the formula every time to help me remember it. Area equals 11 times 7. And that's a basic fact. I know it's 77 when I multiply these two. But a 77 what? Square centimeters. Okay. Now, ooh, fraction. Do we panic? Absolutely no, we do not panic, okay? Do not worry. I'm going to teach you how to do that when there's fractions. Area equals length times width, okay? Area equals 5 times 1.5 feet, okay? Now, you can decide what you want to do here. I'm going to show you what I think is more simple, even though we know how to multiply a whole number by a mixed number because we've done this already in one of our previous chapters. But I'm going to remind you, I'm going to do 5 times, and I'm going to turn this into an improper fraction. I do improper fraction by doing the multiply add. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is saying this is this as an improper fraction. Now when I multiply, I just multiply across. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 2 is 2. So now I have to turn this into what? Back into a good twin, a mixed number, okay? So that means 15 inside the house, 2 outside the house. 2 into 15, 7 times, that's 14. With 1 left over, I do my heart method, 7 and 1/2. So my area is 7 and 1/2. Remember, the quotient is the big number, the remainder is the numerator, and the denominator is the divisor, which is, that's how we've been doing it from the beginning. But it's square feet. If you need to watch this whole problem again, please do that. Remember, the rewind button is a thing. Cool. Okay. Alrighty, let's move on. So right here, find the area of a rectangle. I'm actually going to do the 2 fraction ones and one of these to save time. I'm going to do this one. Okay, you could do that one on your own if you want to practice. Here we go. So area equals length times width. I know I'm kind of jumping around on the problems, which is 79 times 37. I'm going to go to the side of my paper. 7 times 9, that's 63, carry 6. Give me one quick second to look at something. Thank you. All right, 7 times 7, that's 49. 49 plus 6 is 55. Clear the trash. Placeholder. 3 times 9 is 27, carry 2. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 2 is 23. We add this together, and we get 2,923, but what? Square centimeters. Okay, great. Now let's do the ones with fractions, okay? Let's see. Area equals length times width, as you know. So that's 4 2/8 times 9. We are prohibited from panicking. We're not going to panic right now. So all we're going to do is turn that into an improper fraction by doing 8 times 4 is 32. 32 plus 2 is 34. Times 9, you know that a whole number has an invisible 1 always as its denominator. Now we multiply across. 8 times 1 is 8. And we have to do 34 times 9 for the top. Not a problem. I'm going to try it over here. 9 times 4 is 36, carry 3. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 3 is 30. 306 over 8. Now what I have to do is divide, because I cannot leave my answers in an improper fraction. I'm going to divide up here where I have room. I have to get creative. 306 divided by 8. 8 fits into 30 3 times. 3 times 8, 24. 30 minus 24 is 6. Drop to 6. And I start all over again. 8 fits into 66 8 times. 8 times 8, 64. 66 minus 54, but minus 64 is 2, giving me 38 and 2 8s when I do my hard method. Whole number, numerator, denominator. 38 and 2 8s. Now, 2 8s, that can be reduced. So the answer is actually 38 and 1/4. 38 and 1/4 what? Square inches. Make sure you rewind if you need to see that again. I'm going to do another one here with a fraction. area equals length times width. Area equals 8 times 5.5. We don't panic, we just turn that into an improper fraction. So 8 times 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. Okay, we know there's an invisible 1 underneath that whole number. So that means that area equals 8 times 11, 88. 1 times 2, 2. And I divide that. You can go to the side of your paper. 2 into 8, 4 times. 4 times 2, 8. Drop the 8. 2 into 8, also 4 times. 4 times 2, 8. So 44. But 44 what? Square feet. Oh, I put 3 E's on feet. All right, here we go. You're installing wall-to-wall carpet in a rectangular bedroom that is 10 feet long and 9 feet wide. How many square feet of carpet do you need? So carpet goes where? On the inside of the room. So that means that they mean area. Rectangle is 10 feet long, 9 feet wide. I always find it helpful to draw a picture in order to solve word problems. So how many square feet of carpet do you need? Well, area equals length times width. So that's area equals 10 times 9, which means 90, but 90 what? Square feet. Okay. Over here, Newton says that the area of the rectangle is 33 square meters. Descartes says the area is 33 meters. Who is correct? Well, here's the thing. Even though they both said 33, one of them is correct because when you're doing area, you always have to put the word square in front of it, meaning that Newton is correct because he had to add the word square on here and Descartes didn't. So perimeter doesn't need that word square. Area always needs it. Over here, it says, write a formula for the area of a square that has a side length of S, then use your formula to find the area of the square shown. So here's the thing. When you have a square, like a perfect square like this, and they only give you one measurement, but they tell you it's a square, don't say, well, I'm missing the width. No, you're not. Because in a square, all sides are equal. Meaning that all you have to do here is just do area equals 12 times 12 because it's side times side. So area equals, for a square, side times side. So 12 times 12, does anybody know what that is? It's 144. But of course I have to write square yards. Okay. Almost done. Okay. It says, the length of a rectangular dance floor is 6 feet longer than the width. What is the area of the dance floor? So they know the width is 24, but they don't tell me the length, okay? And it's a rectangular dance floor, so I can't say, oh, it's a square. This is also 24. No, it's a rectangle, so that means that it has a different length than its width. They tell you that the length is 6 feet longer than the width, so 6 feet more. 24 plus 6 is 30 feet. Ha! Now I have both of them, right? So we know that the length of the dance floor is 30. All I have to do is 30 times 24. When I go over here, 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 3, 12. No trash to clear. Placeholder. 2 times 0, 0. 2 times 3, 6. 720. Give me 1 second. My computer's making funny noises in the background. 720 what? Square feet, because I cannot forget to add that square feet on there, okay? Here we go. Number 12. A designer creates a rectangular advertisement, so like a poster for something, for a website. The length of the advertisement is 1.5 centimeters longer than the width. What is the area of the advertisement? So, again, they don't give me the length. It's missing, okay? And it's rectangular, so we know that the length and the width have to be different in measurement. But they do tell me that the length is 1.5 centimeters longer than the width. So we have to add 1.5 to 7. So that means we add a whole number, so that's 8, and then the half. 8.5 centimeters. So now I have to come over here and say area equals length times width. Area equals 8.5 times 7. And I am not going to panic. All I have to do is turn this into an improper fraction. 2 times 6 is 6. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. So 17 over 2 times 7. We know there's an imaginary 1 underneath there. So the denominator is 2 because 2 times 1 is 2. And then 17 times 7. I'm going to do that one over here. 7 times 7 is 49, carry 4. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 is 11. 119 divided by 2. I need to do that to divide it because I cannot leave my answer as an improper fraction. I don't have a lot of room there. I'm going to try that again. I'm going to do it over here. 119 divided by 2. 2 fits into 1? Nope. So I have to look at 11. 2 and 2, 11. That's 5 times. 2 times 5 is 10. 11 minus 10 is 1. Now I have 19. 2 and 2, 19. That's 9 times. 9 times 2, 18. I have 1 left over. Hart method, 59 and 1/2. So 59, 1/2, what? Square centimeters. All right. 2 and I am done. Okay, I'm actually going to skip this one for today and I'm going to finish with this one. You create a mural, which is a painting on a wall, a very big painting on a wall, using 4 rectangular posters that are each 4¼ feet long and 2 feet wide. You put the posters next to each other with no gaps or overlaps. What is the area of the mural? Now here's a very important thing. Since one of those rectangular posters is this much, but I'm using 4 of them, that means that I'm going to have to find the area of one and then multiply it by 4 because there's 4 of those rectangular posters. So, area 4 1/4 times 2. That's to find the area of one of those rectangles. So, no panicking. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. So 17/4 times 2. We know there's an imaginary 1 there. 4 is the denominator. 17 times 2 is 34. You can also multiply that on the side, but I knew that in my head. So it's 34 over 4. Now, 34 over 4 can go over here and divide. 4 into 34, that's 8 times. 8 times 4 is 32. 2 left over 8. And 2/4, which is really 8.5. Now I have to take 8.5. And I have to multiply it by 4 because there's 4 rectangular posters. I do not panic. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. So 17 over 2 times 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 17 times 4. I don't know that one on top of my head, so I'm going to go over here. 4 times 7 is 28. Carry 2. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 2 is 6. So 68 over 2. I can't leave my answer as an improper fraction. I'm going to borrow this space. That's why I didn't want to do this one. 68 divided by 2. 2 into 6, 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times, how many times does 2 fit into 8? 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Look, a beautiful whole number because there's no numerator. That means the answer is just a whole number. The final answer to this problem is 34 square feet. Now I know that when I do these lessons I go fast, but it's just because I'm trying to keep the videos to under 20 minutes to watch, because if not they get very difficult to watch videos that are 45 minutes long every day. So make sure that you rewind this. There's actually a feature on YouTube that you can watch it slower in speed if you need to, but stop and rewind are always there. Now that we're done with this lesson, the homework will be posted online for you to finish. I want you to take your time. Okay, I want you to make all these multiplication equations and calculations on a separate piece of paper. Don't try to do them on your head. That way you can get a good grade. What I've been doing is I've been checking when people turn in the homework, and if I see that you got a lot wrong on the homework, I might email your parents and say, hey, they need to try this again because they maybe were not careful. So please take your time doing this homework so that you can get accurate results, okay? I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.